Here I am. See, the sound, I think, right now is here. How did Jimmy say we get the sound through there? Say something. Hello? It's not, unless they talk, but it's not coming through. There was a, turn, how did he get that sound? Oh, there's Ann. Oh, Ann's on there. Okay, good. She's the, hi, Ann.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Ann. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good. We're here at the library, and that's my mom. We're trying to hook up we're trying to get the sound to come out through the TV, but right now we hear you good through the speaker.
Okay, great, great.
You want to try sharing your screen now? Just a little quick.
Okay. Okay, let's give it a run. Oh, I forgot. How do I do this? Oh, okay. Share screen. Share screen.
Yep, share screen.
Then share here.
Yep.
Oh shoot. Cancel. It didn't work. Open link. Launch meeting. Open link. Ah!
Well, that's why we get on early.
I'm gonna log off and log in again.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on. And you can hear me?
I can hear you great and I can see you.
Okay, so let's go.
Okay.
Click there. Okay, there we've got it. Okay, so now I got out of that. Okay, it worked.
No, I don't see anything.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I mean, I just see your head. I don't see, before
Okay.
I did.
Okay, let's try it again. Share screen. Share.
There we go. Now it's working.
There.
There. Perfect.
Okay.
And then when you're all done, I'll shut you off. I will say, oh, how come it won't let me shut you off? It let me shut you off this afternoon.
Let me get out of this. Stop share. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. You did it. You did it. Great.
And I have a friend coming over in about 15 minutes, and she's a pro at all of this. She's been
Wonderful.
She's been teaching online for the past year. So.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get here. So,
oh, don't be nervous. You're gonna be great.
I'm nervous.
I can tell, but I think you're gonna be fine. You, like I said, and I haven't written my Amazon review yet.
Okay.
Because of course, you know, we have a copy here at the library and I want it again in my hands before I write the review.
Oh, sure, sure.
But I also want to buy a few copies, I think, for gifts. What's the best way for me to buy them?
You can buy them from me directly.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that because it's just a great book. And
thank you. Thank you.
Now Jane just left. She'll probably come back on. Jane Kopecki, was up here for a minute. She wrote one of the books we're going to read this coming year.
Oh, what did she write?
I get a little bit confused, but I feel she's the one who wrote about the concentration camp one. I think that one was her.
Yeah. So
I think we're going to read her book. I believe in like January or February.
Oh, that'd be a good one at that time of year.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice because a lot of times authors who've done a talk or authors who are going to do a talk are on also, so they get to kind of.
Oh, yeah, that's why I tuned in. I really liked hearing the others and seeing them.
Yeah, me too. And I think, but like I say, before they all come on, I really like your book the best. But
I still can't believe that, but thank you.
But it's true. But then again, you know, maybe, I mean, of course, because I was, you know, like you, I was an English teacher and but I mean, I know it was just good. It just went fast and nice and had a good pace. And
I think that's because I started out as a journalist, as a reporter.
Could be because, you know, you people as journalists, you are very economical with your words.
Yep, we write tight,
Mm-hmm.
short
Yep.
sentences and keep it moving.
Yes, yes. And you can't waste any words where I think other people, do. But in the newspaper business, there's not time to waste those words. So
And space is money.
yes,
White space is money. It was
exactly.
hard though, switching from journalism to this kind of writing because the whole structure's flipped.
Totally different.
Totally
Yeah.
different from inverted pyramid to building an arc and going down. It was really hard to get. And the fact that you didn't have to be factual based about your characters, you can make them up. That was,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
good. I look forward to that. Yeah, I have a few copies left here. So, yep.
great. And then your next, I mean, one of the questions that always comes out is like your next book, when do you think that will be out and available?
Hopefully by the end of the year.
By the end of the year. Wow, great.
Hopefully. I always have my readers are a little my readers are a little different. I have some native people who read for me, and they're on Indian time. They don't always, yeah. So,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't want anything to go be published before they'd signed off. So,
Exactly. Yep.
oh
I know a little bit about that. I worked in Alaska for 2 years
my
um,
gosh.
on a fishing island, and I believe at the time I was there was about 400 natives and about 10 white people.
Oh my gosh.
It was a real good learning experience for me.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
I just finished reading, I can't remember the title. It's her last name is Sheepshead, the author, Maggie Sheepshead, I think, about the female pilot who
Oh,
flies around the world.
uh-huh.
And a lot of it was based in Alaska.
Hmm.
You would know that. Oh, it's a fabulous book. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Something about round in the title. I
I
can
don't
see
know that
I
one.
can see the cover. It has a plane on it with kind of a washed out orange background. And it's on the top list, the top 10 right now. It's
Oh,
just fabulous.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason I don't think I know about that one, so
Yeah.
I'll have to get the title from you tomorrow. Oh, and then tomorrow too, I'll write you for your address because we send you a little money.
Oh, wonderful. I like
Yep.
that.
I mean, you won't get rich, but you get some. We both pay the Crystal Falls Library and the Upper.
Uh-huh.
We together pay a check that goes out to you.
Oh, great. Great. I could use that.
Yeah.
I've had so many computer issues and printer issues. I've been paying for a techie. Oh my God, it added up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, my computer died. And then, it was 11 years old and it just died. And I replaced it. Well, then it didn't work with my printer.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was too new and the printer. So then the printer died. And then try and find a printer
Yeah.
right now with back orders.
Oh yes. Everything is so hard now. I'm gonna just keep. I'm moving away a little bit. I can't remember how we got this. Our oh, that didn't do it. Our sound on our computer here. Okay, but we had some because we get a few people that come to the library here to join us.
Oh, great.
But it's not coming out through there at all, huh? And Jimmy showed us what to do, and I can't remember at all.
Oh, I see. Because you want the sound to come through the television.
Yeah. Right now you're just coming through the laptop I have down below.
Oh.
So that's why I'm kind of playing here. Can you hear her though?
I can hear now.
Okay. We might just have to suffer today. So I put this all the way up. Can you say something, Ann?
Hello, Crystal Falls.
Yeah, it's just going through there. And there was a trick to this.
There always is.
But I don't remember. Well, that one wasn't it. Well, we might have to just we're gonna have guests too, because the book club from Crystal Falls is joining us tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they're called the Sidetracked with Reading. And then and we're in that book club. I'm just trying to get maybe I'm gonna get I'm at 100% on my computer. So okay. But anyways, I started the book club, and my mom's been in it since the beginning too, since in 2002. So we've read a lot of books together, and and every month we have like a genre. And so the month of June is local authors. So that's why they decided to jump on and be part of this Zoom tonight.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we'll have some extras. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know, of course, if they'll all, like anything with this COVID, we've lost people, and I don't know if we'll ever get them back.
Oh, yeah. It's, yeah. Is it hot up there?
Yes, but we've had storms going through today, so that's
Oh.
How about down there?
Yeah, it's been warm. Yesterday cooled off. It was glorious. I think we got a high 70s yesterday. And today, I don't know what it was today. I haven't been outside yet. But not like it was so incredibly hot.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
unbearably. 77 right now, 75. So.
Oh, okay. And it's 83 here, I believe. But it's 78. It's down to 78 now.
Yeah, so we're about the same. Menominee's on the water. We're on the lake, so.
My mother's father's from Menominee. So and that's how they picked Crystal Falls, because he was from Menominee and he married a girl from Houghton. And so Menominee or Crystal Falls was in between the two places.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we ended up here. But we go to Menominee every now and then. And actually who died there? That was a cousin, her first cousin, like the last one that lived in Menominee, passed away this spring. So
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But it's we've gone there off and on forever, and it's kind of it's nice Menominee. It is.
Yeah, we're close to a lot of places. Yeah, we can go south to Green Bay, or you go up north to Escanaba. Kind of, yeah, it's a nice place. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab just a piece of paper. I'll be right back, because I usually kind of just jot down how many people we have.
Okay, go for it. And I'm
for our state aid report. Oh, there's Victor. Look at Victor.
Hi, everybody.
Sleeveless Victor. How's the weather there in Marquette?
Well, I'm in Ann Arbor today, and it is hot as all get out.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Wow.
High into the 80s.
Oof. Okay. I'm going to leave you for a second, Victor and Ann. I'm going to go grab some papers, and I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Yeah, it's early. We just wanted to try out the technology, so.
Oh, yeah. She's always an early bird.
I am too.
She was on like an hour early last time.
Oh my God.
I had to edit out an hour's worth of video.
An hour? Oh my goodness.
Well, two of the authors we didn't get recorded, and we're really sad because they were great sessions. So.
I have a friend coming to help me with the tech. She's at the door. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
This is Evelyn's mother. I was trying to figure out how to get this sound to come out of the TV rather than the computer. You don't know anything about that, do you?
Right. I can't help you. That's something that's unique to her setup.
Yeah. It's just, but it's loud enough coming from her computer, so we should be okay, but you can put it louder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of cooled off here because it's been raining.
Oh, nice. We've
So
got
it's-
some rain down here, but just barely enough.
Yeah, just to make it more humid, huh?
Yes. Michigan is the humid state.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, I gotta,
Oh, perfect.
you can't help me.
With what? Oh, the sound? Yeah, I don't know. We had it. We never seem to get this thing right. And it wasn't something that was really all that hard, I don't think.
There's some buttons over here, but I can't see what they say.
Well, yeah, but even if they are, we have the volume up as far as it can go. It was something you did on this one to that one. That's the DVD player. We're still, I mean, that's just the TV, but it was something that how this hooks up to the, oh, I know. It was something over here. Oh, what do you call volume again? Volume? Just volume?
Is that a trick question?
Was it settings?
Settings, probably.
Okay. No. I don't think it's any of these.
Sony TV, check the Sony TV.
Sony TV, audio.
But we don't want to remove it.
No. Huh.
Hmm.
Well, the
It's still
Sony
there.
TV is there. We'll keep looking at this here. So Victor, what are you doing in Ann Arbor today?
Well, this is where my full-time residence is. So.
Oh, I don't think I knew that. I always
yeah,
thought you lived up here somewhere.
No, I mean, I lived in the copper country for 5 years when I was a youngster. So that's my credential. But I'm 438 miles south of Marquette most of the year.
Oh,
It's a long commute.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. There. Okay, no, that's not it. I'm just talking to myself here.
Hmm.
Well, it was something so simple, but USB. Oh, we still have some time. Yeah, which is good. Well, Victor, I think, and I don't know, I think it's kind of a slow news week because he sends out those press releases and a lot of newspapers picked it up this week, didn't they, Victor?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the Iron Mountain News and
Oh my gosh.
ABC 10 in Marquette.
Really?
Well, those were specific to Wave 2.
Yeah.
But for Ann's thing, we got Ironwood hit. So that was nice.
Yeah, well, Ayan's thing was in the Iron River Reporter and it was also in the Iron Mountain Daily News today.
Oh,
So, and there was probably some more
great.
places that picked it up too. So that's great. How do you do that, Victor? You just send it. How do you do that magic?
I bought a list of all the media outlets in the state of Michigan with
Mhm.
email addresses. And I kind of corralled ones that were in the UP of news outlets. And oh my gosh, it took so much work because it had the job titles of each person. So I did get rid of all the sports reporters and stuff and just boil it down to all the news reporters of
Oh
that I
my
could
gosh.
find in the UP, and that goes out to, there's like 70 or 75 of them, and some
Wow.
of them were starting to get a reputation as a reputable source, so they're kind of rubber stamping stuff now, which is what I like to see.
Wow, yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a really good that you've got that all figured out. That must have taken forever.
I'm
Yeah,
just like,
it took a lot of years. I mean, Tyler started it. He had a list of 22 media people, and then I just kind of built on his work.
wow.
Built on his work. Okay.
But yeah, I got radio, TV, newspapers, anything I can find.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. So, what was I going to say? And yeah, you're right. The second wave article, that's been going pretty well too. So people should, be hopefully, and I sent out, I didn't get a chance to tell you this, Victor, but I sent to all the directors in Superior Land, like that notice with a calendar of all the events from
Sweet.
September till May. Always hoping that the libraries will be picking up the books and, supporting the program. So we'll see.
How many libraries are in that?
In Superior Land, there's 42 libraries.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yep, it's all the libraries in the UP, and then it's like four kind of major libraries in below the bridge as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's good, but well, we're getting a few people on today, so we have to I always have to kind of keep track for the state aid report. So I'm hoping, Victor, do you keep track anywhere how many people we get each time?
Just in rough numbers.
Me too. I'm pretty rough,
mean-
but I should be more specific.
There's a count that says how many participants. I just try and record the maximum number.
Yeah, and I try to keep. Someday I might write you to just kind of confirm what I have to what you have to see.
Oh, sure.
Because when we have to do our state aid report, we have to file that information away. So, yeah. So we've got some people coming on. Oh, there's Lynn. She's coming from Crystal Falls, right, Lynn?
Full screen, yeah.
And I
That's right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
no, it doesn't, not just on your own, not
Okay,
theirs.
we've got some other
Okay, it's
people.
either
that
be
have
right
come.
here.
Oh, but then I can't see the desktop to
Okay.
get my,
Okay, then just
Yeah.
go back to view.
And I see that Jane and Craig are both on. They're muted, but they are
Yeah,
both
yeah, go
authors
here,
that are
go-
coming up in the
Go
second wave.
View.
We'll be
in the
reading
gallery.
Craig's book in November
Everybody that's
and
on.
Jane's book, I
Oh,
think,
okay.
in 2021.
Okay.
And then what you can do is pull this.
Yes,
aside over
That's
here.
correct.
So
November is the perfect month for Craig.
I think so. Yeah, that's what he told me when I asked him if he would do his talk in November.
This up here and
He
then.
said, you had me at November. Yes, I'll do it.
Yeah.
There he is. Hi, Craig.
Try this real
Sure.
quick. I'm thinking this will do this.
Nice to have you with us. Oh, we got some more people coming on, which is great.
Hey, how do you
Um,
screen?
I think most of you, there's Janet. She's coming in from Crystal Falls,
Because I
which
would
is
have my
good.
presentation.
She's
open here.
connecting there to the audio. And
presentation.
hopefully, like I said before, the local Crystal Falls Book Club, Sidetracked with Reading, is joining us tonight. Because every month they have sort of a theme, and this month is local authors. So they
How
are
to
reading
put
this,
their screen
or
up.
they should have read
Yeah.
this
And
book, and
then
they should be with us
just
tonight.
depending
And
on what
Janet
they-
and Lynn are both a part of it, so hopefully we will have
So then you can.
some
share
more
your screen,
people
and then
popping
you'll
on.
get that one up.
Hi, Lynn.
Okay.
And Anne, our author's with us, and she's
Hi, Janet.
ready.
Hi.
Her friend there.
No,
Oh,
you're.
and we've got Deborah. She's had exciting news this week. Deborah K. Frontera
You gotta go to-
has a book that is,
You're gonna go to share screen.
well, she'll probably be talking to us
And
in a
then go
minute, but it's
share-
basically done, right, Victor?
Share it, just Because they're
Yeah,
not-
we went in print about a week ago. It's an amazing journey across the UP through 4 centuries and many cultures. A lot of nice Ojibwe content in there too.
Yeah, so that'll be really, we're talking about you, Deborah. Can you hear us?
Yeah. Just got tuned in here.
Just tuning in. Well, we were
Yeah,
just
I'm
talking about-
feeling like I'm feeling like a new mom. I have a book baby.
Yes, that's what we were talking about, how your book is basically done and going to be available pretty soon.
Hmm.
And it's pretty exciting. The concept of her book is really neat. It's stories all about the UP, but told through UP artifacts, right, Deborah?
Yes, it was a lot of fun to put it together and think in terms of what a river or a tree or a building or an old car would think about what happened to it. So it was challenging to get all of the research done too. Recording.
Mhm. Yeah. So it's pretty exciting, and hopefully, you never know, maybe you'll be a year 3 selection and we'll be listening to your talk
that
in
would
no
be nice.
time. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Let's hope. Yeah. I mean, the concept
Yes.
certainly is very unique. So we've got Les and Carolyn. They're coming in from Norway. Hello, you two.
Oh,
Yeah, nice to see you. All right. And we've got some others joining in. So it's always good to have everybody come and get on for a minute. There's Margaret. How are you today?
Quite well, thank you. And yourself?
Good. Where are you coming in from again? You got to remind us.
Escanaba.
How's the weather?
It's really nice. It's about 70.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Yes.
That's
It got up to all of like 75 today, 74. Just what
Oh,
kind of weather I like.
yes, it's been pretty warm. Victor's sweating down there in Ann Arbor. He just told us.
I know.
very hot.
Minnesota too, where my son is.
Mhm. And Joyce is here. Hello, Joyce.
Oh,
She's also
Joyce.
part of the Crystal Falls Book Club. I think she's
Janet.
turning on her audio.
Hi.
There
Yeah.
she is.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Mhm.
She's been traveling.
Yes, out to
I've been traveling.
Yosemite.
Mhm.
Yosemite and Sequoia National
Great.
Park.
Yeah. All right. And then we've got some more.
Yeah.
Michael. Now, Michael's coming on. We'll see him in a minute. He's the author of our next book, which I should go and grab. So next month, we're going to be reading Lake Superior Tales. Let me go grab the book. I meant to do that sooner.
We're so quiet online, not like we are in person.
No, that's for sure.
So I have to tell Michael a story about this. I don't think you heard this story yet, Michael, but we had a man, I have all the UP notable books on display. And there's
Okay.
a nice man, lives in Amasa, older gentleman, retired. And about 2 Fridays ago, he just picked up your book, sat down and was laughing like hell. And we asked him, "What are you reading?" And he showed us this book, and he read the whole book in one sitting
nice.
and said how great it was. And he's going to come in July, hopefully, and meet you. But I mean, so that's quite a compliment. I mean, and I don't know, I've been the director here 2 years. It's the first time someone's read a whole book in front of my eyes. So
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, it is. I haven't read it yet, so I'm kind of excited to read it now, especially since he was really enjoying it. So that'll be great. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be
Super.
reading for
Well, thank you for
July.
telling me that. It's always nice to hear those things when somebody
Yeah.
really likes
I
something.
mean, he just walked out here smiling. It was, he had a great day. So yeah, it's a nice length of a book. It's a little bit shorter like the one we just read, so that'll be good for summertime. So that one's coming up for July.
Evelyn,
right.
we just had a teacher at the school has just published a book. Chandra Ziegler.
Oh, she did.
And yeah, I'm not sure what it's about. Maybe Joyce knows more about it than I do.
Okay. Well, when
I
she
don't
comes
know,
back,
but
we'll
she
have
might be a possibility for next year.
we'll have to ask her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she should, if she doesn't know about it, we should definitely get Joyce to tell her about Upper Peninsula Publishers and Authors Association.
Oh,
so she can
oh,
get her
yeah.
book reviewed
Yes,
and
Definitely.
everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Lori. Where are you calling in from tonight? Oh, she's muted. She's unmuted.
I was muted. Manistee,
How's the weather there?
beautiful.
Good.
Really nice today, so.
That's good.
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
Okay. And then we've got, I
Hello,
think
Mike.
Michael Carrier will be coming on, and we've got some others there I can't see. So, Janet, before we start, Joyce, Janet was just saying your daughter wrote a book, Joyce?
The daughter-in-law, her daughter-in-law. Yeah.
She's there.
It's
Yes.
you. Oh, she,
Might- Can you hear Evelyn?
question?
Joyce?
Yes, I can hear her. Yeah.
Did your daughter-in-law just write a book?
Yes, she has one just published. It's like oh, it's hard. I haven't really read it yet. It just came and it's about a part memoir and about nature and she's got beautiful paintings in there by Melanie. Yes.
Great.
A little artist, and she's got all the painting, really pretty paint there.
Joyce, before I forget, you should definitely pick up a brochure here at the library about UPPA so she can submit it to the Upper Peninsula Publishers and Authors Association and get reviewed. And that helps get the word out about her book.
Okay.
And then
I'll
she
tell
would
her.
be
Sure.
even eligible for winning this award, this UP Notable Book Award. And we could maybe
Absolutely.
be reading her book.
Okay.
next-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Kate.
Okay.
Hi, Kate.
Yeah, there's Kate.
Yeah.
So
There's
hello,
Ella.
there's Aaliyah's
Mhm.
there coming in from Amasa. Larry's coming in from Marquette. So on my clock here, it says it's 6:01. So this is the time where we usually do our little bit of business and then we'll introduce you to Anne. But Victor, do you have any UPPA news for our listeners?
Well, I'm holding here a copy of UP Reader number 5. And we were just talking a few minutes ago about the Superior Land Book Co-op, which represents about 42 libraries. We have donated 20 hardcover editions of UP Reader number 5. So you should be able to go to your library and grab them by the lapel. No, don't do that. Ask them very sweetly. Can we please get a copy of UP Reader number 5 for our branch?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it's wonderful. We've got patrons that just are hounding me. They are hounding me for that UP Reader. They love it. And we have it with our magazines. And so we have a couple copies of 5. So we've been circulating them and we're getting good reports. And it's
Good.
really a nice place because, authors like Deborah and Larry, they'll have submissions in there as well, like short stories or essays and things. So if you like something short, it's great. A lot of short little poems and all kinds of wonderful stuff. So we have some here at our Crystal Falls Library and other libraries should, and if they don't, hound them to get it, and they can. So anything else from you, Victor, tonight before we get started?
That's it. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Well, like I said, a very warm welcome to the Sidetracked with Reading readers from Crystal Falls. The Crystal Falls Book Club is one of the Crystal Falls Book Clubs is joining us tonight. If you people could give a little wave. Well, okay, there we are. So welcome, and we hope you like what we're doing tonight and you keep reading UP Notable books with us. And like I mentioned before, in case you missed it, Michael's book is next month, Lake Superior Tales. A nice short book and highly recommended by one of my patrons. So I hope you all read it and enjoy it. And Michael is he is the only author who's on both lists of UP Notable books. He's on year 1 and on year 2.
So
pretty exciting.
Go to the slideshow.
All right, before, if anybody else have any business before we get started? Okay, well, I would like to take a moment to introduce you all to Anne Dallman. And I spelled her name wrong on some of the emails, so I apologize for that, Ann. I had D-A-H-L and it's D-A-L-L. But she wrote a wonderful book called Cady and the Bear Necklace, and I hope a lot of you had a chance to read it and you have some good questions and things that you want to discuss with her. She also has a PowerPoint she's going to be sharing with us in a little while. So without any further ado, let's put our hands together for Ann.
Thank you, Evelyn. I want to thank you for all your hard work and patience in setting this up. And also a big thank you to UPPAA and Victor for all of his hard work. It's just a wonderful organization. I can't say enough about it. This is my first time doing a PowerPoint with Zoom. So I have my friend here, Gina Zanone, who actually said she knows Margaret.
Oh, yes.
So Gina's my techie friend, so she's here. And I'm going to start with the PowerPoint. So please let me know if you can't see it. So I go to share screen and then
Click on the PowerPoint. Click on the
here,
Now go share.
share. Okay. Public library presentation today, which is June 10th, 2021. A little about myself. This is me in my office, and Gina did this. And as you can see, I've given the UP Reader a little plug here, an older version, an older edition. This was actually a book that was published in 2009 called Sam English, The Life, Times, and Works of an Artist. And Sam is an Ojibwa Chippewa artist, and it details the story of his life and his work and Indian, in the Indian movement. And in the recovery movement, he's the founder of Native American AA. And it's a beautiful art book, if I say so myself. It includes about 80 color prints of his work. I don't know. I will show it once I get out of the PowerPoint. I'll hold up the cover. And then here's my book, Cady and the Bear Necklace by me. And the reason I brought this up is Sam's daughter, Haley, did the cover. Haley designed this cover for me, because one of the beautiful things I see in Native literature is it's all circular, or in Native culture, everything's circular. And I thought this was a nice way of keeping that circle going. This is a little side note here. Sam drew this cover of himself when he was in his 70s as a young man. And inside there's the identical painting, only he painted himself as an old man. And then this is Haley's cover. And if you look closely at the cover, and I will hold that up later, Cady in the picture has a face that shows various tones, various shades of yellow, orange, just different colors. And Haley said that was to show that she was in a state of transition emotionally. And she wanted the colors to flow to show how this young girl, who was only 13, how her emotions were flowing. And I think if you have any acquaintanceship with teenagers, and I do after teaching 25 years and raising 2 sons, yeah, their emotions flow. To start out with my career, Evelyn and I were talking earlier, and I started out in the newsroom. I spent 10 years at the Meredith Eagle Star, which is now the Meredith Eagle Herald, doing soft news. I've never been one for hard news. And soft news is more feature writing, although I did get pulled into writing deer reports and bowling banquet write-ups and lots of things. But my degree is in journalism education from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And journalism has always been my big love. After several years, about 10 years doing that, I switched to teaching, starting out at Lincoln High School in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And I was there a few years. Then I went into corporate writing. And then luckily I ended up in Hannahville, where I realized that I'm just much happier teaching in a small school. than a big Class A school. I like getting to know the students. I like the familiarity of having them year after year. So that's a brief capsule of my career. Publications, the two books you see here, UP Reader, a number of magazines. I've had articles written in a number of them. I also wrote another book called The Hannahville Poets. Well, I should say I didn't really write it. I was the editor. I collected my students' writing over 10 years. And when I say collected, often I would find things crumpled up on the floor, thrown in the wastebasket. And yeah, and they were really, really good. And what impressed me was the variety of topics were so different from what I was accustomed to having seen at Manitowoc and where I subbed in other public schools. They wrote about the difficulties of walking in two worlds, which all played into Cady and the struggles she's facing. They wrote about powwows and res cars and fry bread, and then basketball. Just some really unique topics. Most recently, I was editor of a local newspaper, a local feature magazine that covered Marinette, Menominee, and Peshtigo, and that was a monthly magazine. And I just really, really love magazine writing. Although I think writing about Cady is probably my favorite thing right now. What's next? I just finished the next book, and I want to say the first draft, but I've already rewritten it 3 times. And Cady, I rewrote 8. So Evelyn said, when's it coming out? I don't know. Whenever I'm satisfied, and then I'll send it on for editing. And it's going to need some, I'm sure they'll pick it apart and find some things that need to be changed or redone. But I'm really excited about it. The fun thing is when I'm writing about this young girl, I sit down in front of my computer and I feel as if she's writing the story. And it's such a teenage thing because I don't want to do it. I don't want to sit down. I don't want to get to work. I just want to drink my coffee and watch TV or talk to my kids or go outside and look at the birds. And then I sit down and she's telling her story. And some days she has a lot to say and I might write for 3 hours. And other days it's like, hey, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour, she's done. She's not going to write anymore. And it took a long time to get to that point, but it's really fascinating. It's really something I enjoy a lot, just feeling like I'm this kid and I'm writing about what's going on in my life. So it says, hi, welcome to my office. Feel free to look around. You will see some of the books I have authored. And Gina, who's here with me tonight, did this. And I really like the fact that she's smiling while she's holding a book, because during the pandemic, that was the hardest thing for me, was not being able to go to the library. It was just painful. And we have 3 wonderful libraries in this town, in this area. One in Menominee, Michigan, one across the river in Marinette, Wisconsin, and then our local university center in Marinette has a great library too. So it was just like sunshine and roses when the library opened up again. Okay, the next one. Okay, how I chose the cover. I told you a little bit about that. And actually, Haley read the book and she designed the cover. And here you can see the changes in her face, the different colors. Yeah, young girls, they go through, and boys go through a lot of changes at that age. And purple was one of her favorite colors. Here is the necklace, the actual bear necklace that she's wearing. And that belonged to Sam's mother, or the cover artist's grandmother. And I think that's just kind of cool. When I was given that necklace, I would hold it in my hand and wonder, is there a story behind this? What is there about this?
And ask them if they're having problems seeing it, because I think if you play the slideshow, they can see it bigger.
Can you see this? Can everyone see this?
I can.
Okay, you all can see it? Okay,
Yep, we can see it.
okay, good. And then the bluebird, the blue jay, he's one of the characters who keeps her on the right path when she wants to stray. He's there either tapping at the window or making his sounds. I just really, maybe it's the Irish in me. I love trees and I love birds, and he clicks. This is one of the awards I received. This is the MIPA Award, Midwest Independent Publishers Association, and that was for 2020 in young adult. I also received a Next Generation Indie Book Award. I was a finalist in that. One that I'm very proud of and learned about through Victor, and I haven't received the little stamps yet, is from the Historical Society of Michigan, their State History Award in the Youth Books category, and that's really an honor. The New Mexico, Arizona Book Award in Multicultural category, a 5-star review from Reader's Favorite, and then a UP Notable Book, of course. That's another one that makes my heart happy. So there she is. And I took this photo with some rocks and trees and leaves because I like to emphasize nature and her reliance on nature. The story started when she was out running in the woods. Okay, next one. Okay, here we go. Here are some of the main things I wrote about in the book. We'll start here with the bear necklace. And I hope you can all see this. It's, can everyone see it?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Everyone else?
See it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
It's white. It looks like ivory. I'm not sure what the stone is, but the eyes, there's little tiny turquoise beads for the eyes. And then these are white, tiny little like shell-like beads with bits of blue and green turquoise. So this is the necklace that she found, and that is written about in the story, that she finds hidden in the floor of her bedroom closet. And she wonders why she found it. And that starts her questioning and finding out things related to the necklace. This is the woman's knife, where she is remembering back when she was a young girl and her grandmother and her aunties were teaching her how to make pie. And this would be the obsidian blade. There's a carved wooden handle, and then the leather thongs that are used to tie the pieces together. And this is the sheath, and it's all fringed. And then there's a slot here to slide it through your belt. That was given to me by my brother. He made this. He's quite a talented craftsman, and this is a project he went through a few years ago. Here, a friend of mine gave me this. She painted. We have a lot of rock painters in Marinette, Menominee, and she's one of those, and did the blue jay in the book and put him on a rock, because he really is, and he's very important in the second story too. He never leaves her. And then applesauce, because she likes applesauce. Her grandma likes making applesauce. I write about applesauce, and when I am stressed and feeling, I don't know, sad, I make applesauce. It's just something I like to do. It makes me happy to make it. Makes me happy to smell it in the kitchen, all the cinnamon, and it just is a happy thing for me. And it's a happy thing for Cady too. Let's see. She talks about beadwork and how she's very klutzy. She's quite good at sketching, and she always carries a sketchbook with her in her notebook. And beadwork is something she would like to learn to do. And this is just an example. It's a hair clip. It was a gift from a friend. And again, you can see it's the circular motif in all the lovely colors. And I just included it because, again, it makes me happy. I think it's beautiful, and I think beadwork is beautiful, and I appreciate the artistry. And it's something that, it's a smaller theme in the book, how she struggles to do it and questions, why can't I do it? Why aren't I better at it? We've talked about this. These are the awards that the book has received. And here I am. If anyone would like to contact me, I can be reached at shemacwriter@gmail.com, Lake Michigan Pen @gmail.com. And then I have a website, www.andallman.com. And this was at our local library, of course, at a book signing. And this is my very short presentation. And though I did have some questions for people here that I'd like you to think about. Have you ever found something and wondered about its past? Because Cady did. She found that knife and she wondered, how come I'm the one to find it? How come it was, well, the necklace rather. And then the knife just, sorry, I got carried away. She found the necklace and wondered, how come me? And there really was a reason. So I put that out to the audience right now. Have any of you ever found something and wondered about its past?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
Good or bad? You know, it could be, it
Well,
could be.
considering basically I'm a historian, just about everything I come across, I do wonder about its past. So,
Oh, that's great. Yeah. What did you learn from reading this book that you didn't know before?
Oh. I didn't know about the jingle dancing,
Yeah.
the jingle dancers. I really liked that idea.
My friend Jean is here, and we had a good friend who passed over a year and a half ago, and she was a jingle dancer, and she taught us a lot about it. And it's a heavy load to be a jingle dancer. It's quite a responsibility you take on. Mhm. Yeah. And do you know someone who reminds you of Cady?
And before you go on, can you talk a little bit about the eagle feather motif for those who haven't read the book?
Okay.
I found that
That was
fascinating.
good. That was a good part.
Oh, okay. Should I go out of the screen maybe?
Yeah, you can do that.
How
Stop
can I
share.
do it?
Go click on your,
I'm just figuring this out. Where do I go?
right there, go stop share.
Stop share. Okay.
Ah, there you are. Now you're nice and big
Okay.
again.
Should I take these?
No, you don't, it's fine. they don't
Okay.
see it.
The story opens when Cady's standing in, well, it opens at a running scene, but one day at school, and this is a small school, K-12, fashioned after Hannahville, set in the mythical town of Barnesville, but about 20 miles out on a reservation. And she's standing in front of her locker and she notices an eagle feather that's been, that's tossed on the floor, that's laying there on the floor. And she's horrified because an eagle feather is sacred and you don't disrespect a sacred object in that way. And I didn't really write about how it got there. The implication would be somebody was carrying it or had it in their possession and dropped it and didn't even notice, which is really terrible. She knows that something should be done with it. And so the other kids are in class. She walks to the office and tells the principal, and he walks back with her and says, I will take care of this. Thank you for reporting it. You know, because it would be easy when the bell rang and kids were in the halls to stomp on it or step on it or. Yeah, so the principal calls in an elder who does the ceremony to pick it up and restore it the way it should be to a place of honor.
It'd probably be given to someone that would take care of it, like a pipe carrier.
Yeah, he was a pipe carrier himself and he would know what to do with it. Yeah. So it's just, in that culture, it would just be a shocking thing to see an eagle feather disrespected and laying on the ground like that. You know, if you found one outside, you might think it drifted down from an eagle, but to see it in a building. Oh, my friend here just told me that if an eagle feather drops during a powwow,
It follows from it, from regalia.
if it would fall off of regalia, the what dancers are wearing, that it means that a warrior
It's Pat.
has passed. So it's terribly significant and terribly important. Yeah.
They, in the, in the reservation schools, do they still teach, the Indian traditions?
I'm not in a really position to speak for all schools. I was at Natawash Public School Academy / Hannahville Indian School. I was there from 1994 to 2004, I think. I was there 15 years. And at that time they did. At that time, during those years, and it was a K-12 school, all students were required to take beading. They would start, the little guys would start with the big beads and they'd move up in size. Or pardon me, they would move up in the intricacy of the patterns and the small size of beads as they got older. And that was part of their culture class where they would learn their different cultural traditions. And then they also were taught the Potawatomi language. And we did start out every Monday morning with ceremonies in the gym, storytelling. A number of speakers and presenters were brought in to do, hoop dancing or different presentations. And the kids, we go out walking, collect red willow for Kinnickinnick to make red willow bark. They collect sweetgrass. Quite a bit, actually. Whether they do that today, I don't know if it's still going on. I know at that time, a lot of the grandmothers were around and it was very important that that was part of the curriculum. And that's why it was wonderful to teach there. That's how I was privileged to learn as much as I did. Can't think of much else. Do you have any other questions? I will say this book was very, how can I say it? It's a slender book. It doesn't have a lot of pages, but it took a long time to write. I think, as I said before, I did 8 revisions. I went to a couple of writing camps. Highlights Foundation. Highlights produces the wonderful Highlights magazine. I had scholarships to go there for 2 sessions during 2 different summers. Where I learned about changing from a journalistic style of inverted pyramid to the narrative arc and building in, a novel writing, how you have to have different things building up in intensity and then falling down and building in questions. Very different from journalism, and just had some great help there. And then I received a scholarship to study with Susan Power in Minneapolis, who wrote The Grass Dancer, which is a wonderful book. I highly recommend it. She's Sue. And then, you think, well, you write the first draft and you think it's wonderful. And then you show it to somebody and they say, well, it's a good start. And, and you're crushed and you cry and you mope. And then you put yourself together and you rewrite it again. And the same thing, and then you rewrite it again, and then you go to another editor, find an editor, someone to work with, and they say, it's a good second attempt. And then you go over it and over it and over it. I sent out approximately a little more than 70 queries to agents and publishers.
Wow.
Yeah, and each time you have to be so careful to follow what the requirements are, the form, and I'm talking in terms of format, how they want it sent in. Do they want the first 10 pages? Do they want the first 3 chapters? What do they want in their cover letter? Do they want a synopsis? Do they want an outline? Do they want chapter headers? Because if you don't follow it, you're going to end up in the slush pile. And you probably will anyway. But that took me probably 2 years of querying. And then through University of Wisconsin-Madison, through their off-campus writing programs, I worked with the wonderful Christine DeSmit, and she recommended me to Henschel House Publishers. But it's really daunting because you put your heart and soul into something you write, and you think once it's written, you're done. And you're not. Yeah, you're laughing. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. It's just, oh, and it's, boy, that is an eye-opening experience. You know, you're then the marketing starts, and the hustling and the selling and the constant promotion. And then COVID came, and that changed everything too.
Well, I know we have some questions here. I saw a hand. So I think Deborah.
Yeah, you mentioned that that some days she would write a lot for you, and some days, you know, your character didn't. So did you did then find that your character took over your brain and took over the project for you and started telling you what to do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I heard a wonderful program on Wisconsin Public Radio a few weeks ago just about that. And they're doing studies about that, how it happens, that your actual brain chemistry changes, which is kind of interesting, I think. Why I forgot to mention why I wrote this book. When I was up teaching, my students asked me to write a story about them. They said, you know, there's a lot of good things that happen up here, and they just wanted a story written about them and something they could read and something they could be proud of. And I wanted them to do it. And they said, well, you know, that old thing, you teach by showing. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And I'm still waiting for them, but maybe someday. I have heard from them though. And that is the best reward, I guess you could say, that you could get, that anyone could get. And this is what one of them wrote. Her name's Faye. She said, I could not put it down. I read the last few chapters slow as possible past few days because I was sad it was almost in the end of the book. I hope you do end up writing more in the future. I'm looking forward to the next one, and I will share my review and story with others on my timeline and other social media. And that just meant so much. And then another one of these former students said, this wouldn't be easy to write, but I read your interview you posted a couple days ago about how your kids in Indian Lit class always felt disconnected from the stuff we read in class. I think you captured exactly what it was like. And then she mentioned some Native authors, and she said, those books are good, but it's not the same because they are completely different people with different traditions. There aren't many writers out there who write about Algonquin tribes and write it so the general person can understand it. Even when I try to explain it to people I work with or hang out with, I'm always like, it's hard to explain. Also, it was nice to actually see things from a teacher's perspective, someone outside, and see how they respect the way of life that a lot of people on the res take for granted. A lot of times I feel like people use the school as a stepping stone in their professional career. So then it feels like, well, you cared at the time and now we aren't good enough type of thing. She said, not saying that you did, but I guess what I mean is that you worked there for so long and observed how the kids were, their families and the elders and the ceremonies, and you got it and embraced it. I'm gonna cry. It shows how much you truly cared about us, and reading it made me realize that the teachers did care about us back then. So those are the real rewards, I think, you know, helping to tell the story.
Wow. Yeah, that's really nice. Oh, it looks like I see a hand up with Carolyn.
I just wanted to mention, Anne, how you wrote so clearly that age group. I mean, it brought me back to when I was around that age. A lot of memories, plus all the positive vibes that came from all the different things that came into her life. I've always told just about everybody I know how it amazes me how people come into your life and how it changes your life, and sometimes just for a short time and sometimes for a long, you know them for a long time, but how it changes you and changes your life. And just how moving to the res changed her, how finding the necklace, the mystery she had to solve, and her grandma, the boy that she was close to, her family, how that everything kind of came around. And it was so interesting to see how you just wound it all together to me. It was just, I never felt like I was lost in the book. I always just felt like it was moving forward.
Thank you.
It was beautiful.
Thank you. I just love the relationship she has with her grandmother. I'm gonna cry thinking about it because she's real to me. It's like talking about a real person. You know, she was experiencing a lot of loss in her life. Her mother had disappeared, and her father had found love once again, but a much younger woman, and they'd moved across, to a different state from Minnesota to Michigan. So she had, a new situation at home. She adored her baby brother, but all these changes coming into her, and her grandma was her anchor. Her grandma kept her balanced. And speaking of that, I do have a letter from a grandma, and she wrote, "It's a gift you have, putting words on paper. I actually did read your sweet story on Saturday, the day I bought the book. It reminded me of those lovely times spent with my grandniece and nephew in summers when they were young, and I would read coyote stories to them. They loved It to Me and the Rug, such wry humor in that one. Your story also reminded me of my youth and visits with my own grandmother, who was French Canadian and Menominee. Sadly, I didn't learn of the Menominee part until long after she died. I would have loved a conversation about that." So I thought that was a beautiful letter too, and very kind of her to take the time to write it and send it. Yeah.
Any other questions out there? I'm sure there's some. Okay.
She's on mute.
I don't think Kay is on mute, but we can't hear you, Kay.
There's nothing we can do about it.
Sign language, she can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, Kay, you can type it in the chat.
Okay, how do I find the chat?
Well, while we're
The
waiting
chat for everybody is, if you just look below, if you put your cursor down, it'll pop up chat. And you can click on it and then you can type your question and I'll read it.
Over here. Okay.
Okay. But Mary had a question. Go ahead, Mary.
It's not a question, really. It's just, I think whatever the 8 revisions were sure worth it, because what a beautiful, beautiful story. I mean, I couldn't put it down. It was just delightful. And my husband and I worked in Arizona on almost all the Indian reservations there. He was a school psychologist. So, the natives are so dear to my heart, and it was beautiful.
Thank you. As a journalist, though, those revisions are painful, because in the newsroom, you got to slam it out in a couple hours, if that. I had an early morning deadline, so you'd have something going to work about 6:37, and you had to have your whole page made up by 9:30. So in one sense, it's a luxury. On the other hand, it's like, oh, are you kidding me? Rewrite it again?
I can't take it anymore. I just got to ask. This is the question that's burning in my mind. The romance. You did a really good job with that romance.
Thank you.
How did you do that? I mean, it wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. It wasn't, and it's kind of, one of the ladies in the group, she couldn't come tonight, but she said, She wants to send the book to her granddaughter, but she's not sure the mother will like it because the girl's 13 and the boy was a little older. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about that love part?
I wanted to keep it more like a crush.
Okay.
Remember when you're a young kid in middle school, junior high, and you have a crush on someone? And I didn't want to get into anything too overt, anything. Because I hope that teachers will use this as a teaching tool. And I was a teacher, and I have a little granddaughter who I'm very protective of. But I know that kids get crushes, and they fantasize and they dream, and the littlest things mean something. So just the fact that he took her on a walk toward the end of the story and held the bush or the brush aside and showed her the little fawn, and just sweet little things like that. And then she has an imagination that she'll blow it all up into something. And then her friend Irish will just say, oh, get over yourself, and just snap her bubble gum and say, yeah, it's a teachable moment. You can have a crush, but you don't have to. It doesn't have to go beyond that. Maybe someday, in the great someday, as she keeps saying, someday, maybe when they're older, maybe when they're, college or
Question.
adults.
Janet.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Anne. I hope that this is catching on regionally so that a lot of our local and regional libraries are aware of this. I'm wondering if you've been sending reviews to more national review journals like School Library Journal or Booklist, or some of the children's nationally reaching journals that would put a review of it in there.
But
I think it's a good candidate for it.
Thank you for those suggestions. No, COVID just kind of,
yeah,
it slowed everything down. And we had a death in the family, and I just kind of was absent for a while, but I'm back at it. So School Library Journal, that's a good one.
School Library Journal. There's others too. I'm sure you'll find lists of them at the public library that you could,
Okay.
But Booklist is another one that's really, librarians depend on that for reviews. So sometimes, yeah.
It's hard to get past the gatekeepers. I'll say that, but.
Well, I have hope for your book.
Well, thank you.
And I've read a lot of children's reviews, so I think you should try.
Okay, thank you.
Another question here?
Well, I had a question because it was this Cady was supposed to solve the mystery of the necklace, and it's sort of at the end. Then she got together with her grandmother, who was good friends with the
boy's grandma.
The boy's grandma, but and she got the earrings. But to me, she was still. I didn't know what the mystery was. If it was solved, or maybe is it going to go on in another book?
The mystery was why she was chosen to find out this story. Yes. And through finding out the story behind the necklace, she grew closer to her family. It was just part of her growing up process. But yeah, mysteries will continue to follow her because that's who she is now. And the bluebird tapping on her window is kind of a sign. Okay, there's another one. Remember, she's only 13, pushing 14, and she's growing up, and there's a lot of temptations on that road as you're growing up. And these kind of things keep her balanced. It makes her go to the library to do her research, and to hang out with the elders, to find things out from them, and even to turn to her dad and ask him.
Would it lead into a sequel?
Yeah, I just finished the second one. So, yeah, definitely. Thank you for asking. Yeah.
Good.
Yes, I know for me, the discussion questions that were in the book, the last one, number 15, what do you think will be Cady's next adventure? I filled up an entire page.
Oh my gosh.
Things that I wanted to know more about, because I just got pulled into her world. You did such a great job with that. And I was just like, I need to know. I wanted to know why her dad didn't go through becoming a medicine man. And I wanted to know more about why her Uncle Jack made the obsidian knife for her. And her mother, her absent mother, Cady has the cards, the birthday cards and Christmas cards in a box, and she hasn't read them. And I'm like, well, she has to read them. What do they say? It's driving me crazy.
She has a temper, this girl. That's part of her I don't know, dilemma. Part of her challenge is to channel that temper into, and that's one thing I wanted to do as a teacher, was take the anger and the temper that a lot of kids had and channel it into a productive area. And for her, it's sketching, running, and now it's going to be solving mysteries. But she does have anger with good reason. Why did her mother go? And that's the fun thing about fiction. You don't have to answer everything. You don't have to, you can leave the reader wondering. Whereas in journalism, you have to present all the facts. So, but thank you for that. That's really exciting that you reacted that way.
Can I ask you a question? Just, it's very short. So
Sure.
how old is the Cady you are starting your sequel with? What age is she, or have you not decided yet?
It's just, that's something I have to finalize, but at this point, it's just a few months later.
Oh, mhm.
So
Yeah.
I have to work that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So should I hold up the knife?
Yeah, ask her if they'd like to see that.
Would you like to see, let's see, can you all see me? This
Yes.
Put it up in front of your camera.
I got it. Where's my camera? Okay, like this?
Okay, you should be able to see it in your own picture.
Yep.
There you
This
go.
is the actual knife. So it gives you an idea of the size. So remember, she was a little girl. She was only about 6 or 7. So this would be a pretty big knife for her at that age, for her little hand. And it's quite sharp. It's got I don't know if you can see it, but it's ridged. But she really had a tough time with apples, so they gave her some softer peaches to slice. And then this was the case it was in.
Wow.
And then this is the actual, oh, we're going to get a reflection from the glass there. That's the actual painting that Haley Greenfeather English did for the cover.
It's gorgeous. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you, because the publisher was kind of stunned at first. She was like, well, we've never done a cover like this. And I thought, well, let's try it. Let's trust it. And then I did refer earlier to the Sam English book. And here's that book. I don't know if I'm trying to get away from the glare. You can see this. And
Could you type the title on our chat so we could look it up, maybe?
yeah,
Inside.
I could do that.
yes, I can.
Oh, okay.
I can.
I'll do that for you. Just the title was The Life and Works of.
The Life, Work, and Times of an Artist. Those books are no longer available except from me right now.
Oh, they're not in libraries?
They should be in libraries. We distributed them through a Kellogg grant to libraries throughout the country and to reservations throughout the country. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And here, this gives you an idea of some of his artwork.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
And there are 80 color plates.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he was a major influence on me. He has been. Here's another one you can kind of see.
Mhm.
So, and then this was what started it all. This is the Hannahville Poets. And this one is out of print.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of print, but it has crazy writing, really nice, lovely writing in it, crazy good. So
One thing I had to ask Anne earlier but probably before most of you came on, was, to me, this is a nice book to give, younger readers. If you have, like, I have a niece that's about this age, and I wanted to buy her a copy, and Ann said that you can buy them directly from her, that's one good way to buy them.
Thank
So
you.
I will share with everybody tomorrow her email again. So everybody's got it if they'd like to purchase a copy or a few for gifts, because I think it is a really neat book. And it's like all the books we've been reading this year, everyone is different from the other, but this one is pretty approachable in size and content, and it's a nice book.
Oh, here's the actual book with the cover. And referring back to what someone said before, I think it was you, Evelyn, about the boy girl little crush. I've had a number of women who have said to me they bought it for, like you said, a niece or a granddaughter or younger, but they wanted to read it first. And when they read it, they said, I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but it's fine. I'll pass it on to them. So it's PG, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. It was good. Do we have any follow-up questions? Anything else anybody would like to talk about? Okay, we've got one here from Les. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say the Native American cultures, there's a lot of stereotypes. And one of the things I really enjoyed about this book is there's so much depth to that Indian culture that we don't know about. And I wish more people, would write like you do and explain some of the ceremonies. Because what I think is happening is we're losing that culture. And I worry that it's not maybe going to be passed on. So many of these traditions will be lost. And I just think it's, fascinating on what you put in the book. Most of them were things I had never read before or heard of, and I just found that very interesting. I think you did a wonderful job.
Yeah. Thank you. Like I said, I wanted something my former students and even the current students would be proud to read. And that's what motivated me. And yeah. So thank you.
Yeah,
I
and I
wanted
think
to tell a
that's
story.
what Les was saying, because when we talked to Phil Belfi, those of you who are with us for his presentation, that was the one takeaway I had from him, really the that it's a genocide what has happened to Native Americans. And it was, it's a good point that you make. And I think your book adds to the canon of Native American literature for sure.
Well, thank
Any
you.
other questions, comments?
I have a small question. The stepmom, Francine, is she meant to be indigenous? Is she Native American?
I never really.
Twinkie cake threw me.
we're my friend here is here. We're laughing because that was kind of a joke in the teacher's lounge. It was, I never really said, and I just kind of
it wasn't in there.
It wasn't, yeah, that's because it's left ambiguous. But that was kind of an inside joke about just people we worked with. And sometimes those things creep in,
So there really was a Twinkie cake somewhere?
There really was in the teacher's lounge. There really was.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I wanted to refer back to the question before yours about the stories and the traditions. Many of my students do walk the Native way, and they are carrying on the traditions. And it's in a positive way, which is wonderful to see. And they're sharing it with their children. So things are being carried on.
What do you think about this book for a 13-year-old boy?
I think he'd like it. I spoke to a group of middle school students who were what, sixth grade?
Sixth grade. Yeah.
Sixth grade this past year. The boys really got into it. They were, boys pick out different parts of a story than girls do. Because boys tend to go for nonfiction, but they liked, they just got into the bridge and the water scenes and walking in the woods. But yeah, the guys liked it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to send it to my grandson. So and he's 13. So.
And boys like mysteries. They really do. I have 2 grown sons, and I'll tell you, the one wouldn't miss the Mystery of Oak Island for anything. He's tuned into that every Tuesday night. So
What was it that the kids didn't like about the ending? They said you didn't end it.
As the mother of a teenage boy, he's grown now. I think it would be especially nice for a young man to read because the love interest genre is so respectful, and I think he's a good role model for how to behave around somebody you care about. If I had a daughter, I would want somebody like John Ray to be a crush, because the boundaries were very respected, and the consideration. I thought he was a very good character.
thank you. That is just a compliment I will treasure. Thank you. That's how I raised my sons, and it's how I hope my little baby granddaughter, what she looks for. So thank you very much.
Well, as always, it's so nice to have, people joining us. I know the weather's, been kind of crazy, and maybe people haven't, they've been busy or other things going on, but I think we had a good turnout tonight, and I know I'm ready to read that next book, Anne.
Yep. Well, I'm on revision 2 or 3, so
There's only
I'll try to hurry it up.
If you
I'll
get
try to
down and you need moral support, you just call here at the library and I'll give you a pep talk, and
right. Thank
so
you.
we can hopefully
Thank
have
you.
it for Christmas gifts, because it's sure I want to read more, and I think others do too.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Anne, I really enjoyed the introduction of the Ojibwe words in each chapter, and I tried to burn them into my memory. So I really want to see more of that.
Okay, Miigwech.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. And Michael, are you ready for July?
I'm a P.
I'm probably as ready as I'll ever be.
Good. I'll get a hold of you a little bit beforehand and make sure, that we're all set. But this will be on Thursday, July. I gotta just double check the date here.
The 8th, I believe.
8th at 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll be talking about Lake Superior Tales. Okay. And did everybody get from me the calendar of the books for next year?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you can be shopping for,
Yes.
there we go. Someone did what I said. They printed it out. They're ready to get the
I did too. It's with my calendar.
Oh, another one. Good job, Kate. So I don't know about you, but I like having those, everything's online, but you get a nice little paper thing. You can carry it around, find what you need.
It's right in my calendar.
Perfect.
I didn't hear what you said before, and you were so demonstrative. Do you remember what you were saying about the book?
Oh, yes, Kay, now that we can hear you.
You were on mute, so we didn't hear you.
I'm still.
Oh, now we can't hear her again.
Yeah.
It's weird. We could hear her and then we can't.
Yeah.
Did you put it in the chat?
Well, you can email
sign language.
I can send it along tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and have a good evening.
Bye, Anne.
Bye. Bomb meeting.
Thank you.
Wonderful talk. Thank you for the PowerPoint.
Okay, so leave.
Yeah. And then hit it.